on this program are not those of intellectualradio.com, its subsidiaries, or sponsors. Encouraging, educating, and empowering you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady ReShell.
Welcome to Warriors Talk on Relationship Monday, where we move away from awareness towards action. I'm Lady ReShell, and tonight we're diving into a topic that hits deep for many of us: healing while dating. Am I ready for love or still broken? Whether you're single or newly back on the dating scene, or you feel like you're in something serious, we want to talk about what real healing looks like and not what you see on social media. So we invite you to join into the conversation. We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from the Drive FI with Roman. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. On the last episode of Warriors Talk, Dr. Michelle Meeks and I discussed mental health matters, breaking the silence. You can head on over to YouTube and type in Intellectual Radio and stay connected for any episodes you may have missed. The quote of the day is, if you don't heal what you hurt, you will bleed on people who didn't cut you. Warriors Talk want you to save the date. Coming up October the 18th, Warriors Talk will be having our 9th annual Survivor Celebration and Reflection Gala at the Crystal Sky Banquet Hall, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Tickets will go on sale soon. You can actually nominate a survivor that we can honor at the gala. You can nominate an individual who's in battle right now who need financial assistance. Or you can nominate someone who you feel may be the survivor of the year. This is an individual who is an advocate. They're out in the community, they're educating, they're sharing information, and they're always showing up for other survivors who are going through. We are also looking for sponsors as well as vendors to help support that day as well as we continue to celebrate and meet the needs of warriors in battle. Now, since the last time we've talked, I was presented with the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award by We Care To Agency, and I had so much fun at their gala, and I just want to say that I'm so grateful for this honor to be recognized for the work that you do in the community. We don't do it for awards, but when we are recognized, I'm always grateful. If you're tuned in on any form of social media, like the show, share the show, and invite someone else in on the show that you feel may benefit from this valuable information. I am so grateful for our sponsor on today. We have Pastor Michael Richardson with the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ, who has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emmanuel Kojic at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emmanuel Kojic-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson, and we're from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
With me today is none other than the cancer activist, motivational speaker, and the founder of the Gal Foundation, Rizal Gilmore, aka The Biz. Hey, Rizal.
Hey, Michelle.
Are you ready to get real, raw, and relational?
Oh boy, raw as we can get. Oh my God, June. We are halfway there. I keep telling you, people, this time is flying.
It really is. It really is. Hey, Lisa. Thank you for tuning in. It is really flying. I'm excited about the topic tonight: healing while dating. Am I ready for love or still broken? And this is for anyone that's trying to figure out where they are right now in their relationship. Are they ready for love, or looking for a distraction, something that could keep you busy because you have ended a relationship?
We might mess around and end some relationships tonight.
That's not the intention.
It's not the intention, but there's a possibility.
All right, well, let's just jump right into the conversation because we always run out of time. So, the first thing that we want to talk about is those individuals who rush into a relationship to avoid loneliness. Like, are you really ready, or you just don't want to be alone?
Ding, 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 ding. That's one that you hit the hammer on the nail. Yes. A lot of people, when you're used to, you know, people or a certain person or, just being around, you will jump into a relationship because of loneliness, because you just don't want to be by yourself because you're just so used to being, with someone. And then that just opens up the door for mistakes.
What's wrong with being by yourself for a while, especially if you just got out of a relationship and it was a long-term relationship? I feel like you need that time to heal and to clear out the residue from that relationship.
Nope. That's the thing. They don't want to let go of they like the idea of the togetherness. So they don't want to let that idea go. So it's like, let me find me somebody real quick to fill that void. If I throw somebody in there in the mix, then I'll be good. And I don't have to heal. I don't have to go through anything. I just got to deal with this person over here now and learn his flaws and what he got going on. And, I can, it's like in your head, you're thinking I can work with it. I can do it, until then you hit that bump in the road again. And then the relationship ends and you back on that cycle again.
I remember this guy telling me him and his wife was in the process of getting a divorce, and he said he wanted to be hypnotized so that he wouldn't have to feel the pain of, them separating. I thought, like, wow, like that's really avoiding the issue. You have to go through it in order to grow from it. But he was like, no, I don't want to even feel any of that. He was just ready to just skip it and move on.
I mean, I understand them because, they say you never know a person until you live with them or until you fight with them. And going through divorces, there's a lot of fighting that happens and goes on. I'm just wondering, like, can that actually be done? Like, can a hypnotist actually make you forget to avoid the pain? Because you're going to be scarred for life. That's something in your memories that you're going to have. I don't even know if that can happen, but if that's the case, a lot of people will be doing it.
That's so true. That's so true. I don't know what good it would do because like you're not learning anything from what happened. You're just skipping over it and going to the next thing.
If you're bypassing it.
And the next thing is comparing everyone to your ex. So are you really doing that, comparing everybody to your ex? Have you really gotten over that person?
Nope. Because especially if you're used to a certain lifestyle or you're used to a certain thing, you're used to coming home and there's a glass of wine and flowers there waiting for you every Friday or something. You don't see you get that anymore. Then it's like, my ex used to blah, blah, blah and blah, 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 blah. Honey, you are in a total different relationship with a total different person and you're going to get a total different experience.
And I guess especially if y'all broke up, that means it didn't work out. So I don't know why you would be comparing everybody to the person that you were with versus saying, okay, take away some things. Yeah, there may be some things that you liked about that person in the relationship, and I'm sure there's some things that you didn't. So I would just like subtract the good stuff that happened and anything that was negative. Like, okay, I'll leave that there. But as far as comparing people, it's not fair to the person that you are starting a relationship with to compare everybody, to compare them to that person. You're not giving them a fair.
Right, but within the comparison, you're like, you know what? What did I get myself into? This dude ain't no good. He don't even do X, Y, and Z because you're holding on to those little pieces of memory that you loved about that ex that you had, and you trying to bring that over to make like the perfect person. Okay, if I could get this from him and that from her, or whatever the case, and get them to do that, then it'll feel like I never left the relationship, like we never ended. It's just a new face. That's all. It's the experience that that person gives you that you hate leaving.
That's true. Wow, that is so true. Number three is emotional triggers and overreactions. What triggers you about that past relationship when you're trying to move on or in a new relationship? Every time this person does this, you think about what the other person did to you. Oh, see, that's this. He acted just like this when he was getting ready to go cheat on me. These are the things that he said. These are the behaviors that he displayed before he cheated on me. And now you're triggered by this person doing it when it could be very well innocent.
Yep, very well so. Um, Emotional triggers, there's a lot of things that still playing in the back of your head of why you two are no longer together, and you start to think of why you got to the point of where you were, that things done, things said will happen because some people become very guarded now while they're trying to heal, so they're not taking in any info, and you're trying to break through the barrier, so now it looks like you're a stalker, or you're a person who probably do have a genuine case, who's just trying to get to know you, but you're so emotionally triggered by little things. Maybe I'm asking you too many questions, or maybe I'm not asking enough questions, or whatever the case. But there's always some type of emotional trigger or overreaction that happens.
Wow. Number four is difficulty trusting or opening up. So
Oh,
now
was that a segue?
you're in this relationship, guarded, your guards are up. You're not really able to open up to this person and allow the relationship to be all that it can because you have this distrust.
Yep. Was it TJ? It was some pastor I said, if you can't be all in, don't be in. You can't half do the relationship. You have to put your whole self into the relationship. So if you can't trust, that's the number one thing. If I can't trust you, we don't need to be in a relationship.
Well, I could put like half in at a time, not the whole.
They ain't even half that. You mean a quarter.
As the relationship goes on, then I open up more and more. I'm just gonna like give a little bit, and then the more and more I can trust you, you earn trust. Then that gets me to open up more versus me just jumping in. Yep, I trust this person with my whole heart, and I'm just gonna be open and see where this goes. Like,
Well, yeah, absolutely not. So this is the age old question: is trust earned, or do you give a person enough rope to hang themselves?
I think if you're thinking about it, giving them enough rope to hang themselves is a negative thing. I would say trust is earned as you go along in the relationship. It's earned, it's built. You're building on it versus sitting back looking like, let me see what he gonna do because yeah, he gonna mess up. As soon as he messed up, strike one, strike three.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But
just
it's like that though. It is truly like that. So it all depends on the person.
yeah, I think that's you setting a relationship up for failure in the beginning. Like you just waiting, like I know it's gonna fail, so let me just get ready. And so you're gonna be guarded. If you're thinking that way, you're gonna be guarded. You're not gonna open up to that person. You're not gonna be able to really give that relationship a chance to develop into something that could be really beautiful than you had in your last relationship. But because you're coming in damaged with baggage, and now this relationship, it don't stand a chance.
Yep, you're sabotaging the relationship before it even gets started.
That's so true. That is so true. Ooh, a need for validation from your partner. Like, I need you to validate me. You don't need to be looking on social media for validation. You posting all booty pics so that the guys can be like, ooh, like it, like it. Next thing you know, they're in your inbox. Like, sometimes you should get validation from your partner, but it should not be an ongoing thing that you constantly need validation. Like that would be irritating for me.
Hmm. Now, if two people were together and this person wasn't posting them on Facebook, is that a need for validation?
I think you guys should have a conversation about why they're not posting you on Facebook, especially if we just started dating and it's fresh, it's new. Sometimes private, what do you call secret and private are different things. You have to know that you're not a secret, but we're being private until the relationship is strong enough to be like, okay, yeah, let's we can go on social media and post from time to time, but or let's stay off social media altogether. Guess what? My last relationship I had, we was posting each other all the time, and then we had an attitude. We removed the pictures, and then everybody knew something was going on. Everybody was in our business. So I think that's a conversation that you need to have with that person. Like, why do you need social media validation when
Uh,
we can have
like I know that social media will have ruined a lot of relationships, marriages, and all type of things. I have seen it happen. We also know that I think what you was trying to refer to, you keep it quiet until it's permanent. Yeah, you keep it quiet until it's permanent. But even then, you want to keep your marriage or your relationship, stay off social media because all them little bugaboos and they all come out. Oh, he used to try to talk to me. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And next day they in your inbox and you hearing all this stuff. Well, who's such and such? And then they on your then who you with want to go and question, well, who's this person? Well, who's that person? Why'd you do this? Why'd you like that? And all these different questions start. Stay off of social media with your relationship.
it's true. I would post my wedding picture with my ring, and then he would be facing backwards and you would just see the back of his head and you'll see my ring. Like that would be me saying, hey, guess what, my last name has changed. And I would post probably once we tied a knot, but it wouldn't be like a constant post every time you turn around. I'm constantly posting something because for me, I don't have that need for validation for him to be posting me like that. Other people may be different. They may feel like, oh no, he's hiding something. And you kind of know your partner. You kind of know
Mhm.
what's, especially on his page. Like some people can't even be friends with their partner on their page because it's so much going on. So they're not even friends on social media. It's like, no, we don't have to be friends. And I'm not going to your page. They probably never go to their partner's page because they don't want to be upset. And it's just like, it's social media. You have to respect your partner on and off social media. So it starts with a conversation.
I think most of the time they go on there and they begin to jump to conclusions about what they're seeing because they're not seeing the picture all the way, or they could, depending on what what the post or even the post. Maybe the post ain't even about you. Some people they see something, somebody if I post anything, they automatically think that I'm going through it right now or it's happening to me now, and it's not the case. Maybe somebody else wasn't. I'm trying to give them encouragement. I'm trying to help them through because they're feeling broken and indisposable. Yeah, yeah. They think every post is about you.
True. I've stopped posting a lot of relationship stuff just for that reason just not even wanting a flag of people being in my inbox like, "Hey, you okay?" Like, no, because it's some stuff is just unnecessary to really go through unless it has something to do with the show. So my question is to us and as well as to the audience, for those who are listening, what are some signs that told you that you wasn't ready for a new relationship yet? You met somebody and y'all was talking, and then all of a sudden you just like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready
Hmm.
for.
I think, well, for me, it's the uncomfortability. And I have to feel comfortable and ready to, be able to open up, be able to ask you questions, what I need to know, all different things. And if I'm not like at that point just yet, and I'm just there staring at you like in space, then I know right now is not it. And I need more time, or we need more time of getting to know each other before we jump into any type of relationship. I need to see exactly who you are, because I do take relationships serious and I do fight for mine, to the end. Whether it's good or bad, I shouldn't be there or not, I still fight for mine. So I need to know you're going to be worthy.
Hmm. I would say if I'm hesitant, like the age that I'm at right now, it's like I love my space and I love my alone time and just my time. And if I'm feeling like it's a chore for me to have to, oh, gotta contact you. Oh, where were you at? Oh, this and then I don't want to do that. Like for me, it has to be easy. It has to be, sort of stress free. And then yes, but if I feel like I'm gonna be stressed and it's gonna be weighing on me, then I'm gonna tend to like, this is not for me. So I'll probably take a step back and kind of like distance myself or like minimize the communication. And yeah,
Especially if you feel like you're putting in more to work than what the person who was coming for you is doing.
not even that. It's just if I feel like this is a bit much. Like if they're asking me, bless you, like they're on me about little things, and I'm just like, this. Why you didn't call me? You said you was gonna call me back, or this and that. Oh, I had the kids. Like I fell asleep. I'm tired. And I worked, and yeah. So the next question is, can healing happens in relationships too? Like you're in a relationship, you done broke up with some person for a reason y'all broke up, and now you're in the next relationship. Can your healing happen while you're in that relationship?
I think it's going to be, I don't know why I'm thinking it's going to be offset. I don't think you're going to heal properly because you're distracted with this other person and what's going on, and not thinking about what you just let go of so you can move on. And I don't, yeah, I don't think that you can be in a relationship and heal, because you're going to be hurt in that relationship, and hurt people hurt people.
Hmm. Let's listen to a video really quick. I hope I clicked the right one. Hold on.
Marketplace, and a lot of people advise against it, but I'm telling you right now, this is what allows our clients to do really well, because people will always say you need to heal first, you need to take time, and that is true. There's a period of time that you take to isolate yourself, but it does not last 3 months or 6 months. It's really just a month or under, where you need to take time for yourself. At a certain point, you have to start talking to other people. And there's a couple reasons for this. Number one, you have to reprioritize your brain towards new feminine or masculine energy. You have to, because your brain, all it knows is this person. All it has sexual interaction with is this person. And it's very focused on reproduction. Your biology is focused on genetic diversity of the offspring. So it's going to promote you to be with this person because it thinks, oh my God, this is my person. We're going to have a baby together, so on and so forth. That's what it cares about. But it doesn't necessarily understand relationships or situationships or divorce or breakup or we're not together anymore, but we are. It doesn't get that stuff. So you need to reprioritize that energy towards a plethora of people. And the big thing is, you want to go on dates with people, but you don't want to lie to them. You don't want to falsely advertise, hey, I'm ready to date you. I'm ready to be in commitment. You can just say like, hey, I just want to get to know you first, or let's take things slow. And in a lot of cases, you can just tell them, hey, I just got out of a relationship and I don't necessarily want to lie to you. I think you're a super cool person. Why don't we just get to know each other for a little bit? You can say these things, and a person that's understanding and that makes sense for you will actually say, yeah, I understand that completely. I'll back off a bit. I'm not going to sit around and wait for you, but at the same time, we can just get to know each other. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
So that's a person that says, no, there's nothing wrong with you dating while you're healing, and you shouldn't be healing forever. At some point, we should get back out there.
I agree. I do agree with him, except for was it 3-6 months? I say, hey, everybody is different. That's up to you. And definitely he's talking to this younger crowd and generation about that. But I actually agree with him, because some people I notice become lost, like they become stuck in the healing process, that they can't move forward or they can't move on with another person. And then that is the last thing that you want to happen. And he is right that you do want to, keep the ball rolling, and you're not stuck in that certain place about this person who's probably moved on without you and even thinking about you no more. So
That's true. So number 6 says, being supportive or codependent relationship. You have a partner that's just supportive, or is healthy, or you just dependent on this person because, again, you don't want to be alone. You feel like, oh, being in a relationship is better than me, even though I may not be healed, but being in a relationship is better than just me suffering through it by myself.
codependent. There's a lot of people who may not admit, but yeah, they just like the company of someone being there. They love that touch. They love that conversation. They, just being able to come home to somebody makes you feel good that someone's there. You're not just coming home to like 7 cats and or just kids. Like, it makes, so you can have somebody tell them about your day while you stand in the kitchen. Like, it feels good. Or they sit and watch you, or you sit and watch them. That those little things, those memories, like, they really touch you and they take a toll on you once they're gone and there's nobody there.
Absolutely. Number 7 is the difference between healing with someone and making them your healer. Sometimes we can put so much on that new person to heal us, to help us heal, that it damages the relationship. It puts a strain on the relationship. And sometimes that relationship suffer because of the trauma that you sustained in the other relationship. And now this person is carrying the weight of what happened because you are expecting them to be your healer.
Right. Because you put me in the position of something I didn't sign up for. I'm a total different person, and you're trying to make me, or try to get me to heal you from your past trauma. No, this is something new. This is a clean slate for you. You have to do this yourself. Now, I can be supportive and go through it with you, but I cannot heal you.
So that's the next question. Can the right person help you heal? Or is that something that you need to do first before getting into that relationship?
I think it can work both ways, depending on the person. I think the right person can help you heal because they're going to show you new things, new techniques, and new ways. And that's going to be real exciting to you. And you're going to heal from that because now you are learning something different, something new, and you're not learning your past of what that person brought to the, that brought up to the table. What do you need to?
I'm sorry. What about just being honest about where you are emotionally when you meet that new person? Hey, I was in a relationship for 5 years. It ended badly, and so I've been on this healing journey. I'm open to love. I'm not shutting love off, but I'm just letting this person know, honestly where you are emotionally.
I really don't think that that person even know where they at are emotionally until they stick their toe in the water. I don't think they even know. They may think that they're not ready or they are ready or they're there, but I don't think they know until they actually step into it.
Which person? The person that
That's trying to heal or think that they're
well, I
now
said
healed.
they open to love, so they're not closing themselves off, but they're just letting the
Right.
other know that this is where I'm at emotionally. I'm open, but you know, just in case they see any red flags or triggers.
Well, then they're going to begin to explain what happened, and why they're where they are, with their being open and want to take things slow, and that
Is this?
might mess things up too. Go slow, don't rush intimacy.
I don't think it's necessary to give them all the details of what happened in the last relationship. Like, I don't think I would. I would not do that. I do
Yep.
agree with going slow, especially not rushing the intimacy. Because for women, when we're intimate, it, it's different. When a man is intimate, it's physical. When a woman is intimate, okay, that means that you got me emotionally, mentally. I'm attached. So I would say when it comes to the intimate part, especially if you have some from the relationship previously and you know that you're healing, then don't rush the intimacy.
Mhm. Nope. Let me tell you, females will tell you all the details to let a man know what happened in their past so you don't go and do the same thing to them. Because the minute you step into hurting them, they're going to say, you know what I've been through. Why did you do that to me? And this is why they open up and they tell everything so they can use that one right there on you.
Hmm. I guess some women, because not me. So the question is, have you sabotaged a relationship because you were not fully healed? I would say, I would say yes. And that relationship, it ended because I was thinking about all of the little triggers again that this person was doing and the other person done, and I'm just like, this he's mirroring the same behavior, so why would I stick around when I already know what the ending is going to be like? And so let me just, again, I start removing myself, I start getting quiet, I start minimizing communication so that that person be like, oh, she must not be interested anymore. Nope.
I don't think I think there's been times where I thought that I was ready, but I wasn't ready for that person because what they was offering and showing wasn't what I needed. So I don't think that I sabotaged it. I think more so I dodged a bullet because you shouldn't force anything, and it just wasn't there. Uh, what I was looking for and what I needed then at the time, and then going through what I went through, a lot of women were kind of standoffish because of me losing my wife. They thought to themselves like, I'm never going to fill those shoes, but I didn't want you to fill the shoes because you're going to be, we're just going to say, a new wife. You're a new person. You're a new relationship. You know, yeah, I may backtrack and think because I'm used to a certain person, but yeah, I don't think I sabotaged it. And I came to that reality throughout my relationships. Yeah,
Well,
that was a moment. Thank you.
well, what we're going to do is we're going to end the show on intellectual radio, but we're going to keep going because I have that's coming behind me right now. And we did started a little late, so I don't want to run out of time for the next show. So we're going to end the show with intellectual radio. Rizal, you want to give some words of wisdom for the audience as it relates to healing while dating?
Yeah. Don't trade your peace for convenience. Heal properly. Take whatever time that you need. Don't listen to people, because so many people said it should take you like 5 years. I don't care if it's been 2 days and you broke up. Shoot, you ain't broke. Go for it. Shoot your shot.
I would say extend grace to yourself as well as others during your healing process. And remember that healing is a journey, not a destination. So, you guys, always thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell. Co hosting with me today on Intellectual Radio is Rizal Gilmore, aka The Biz. Warriors Talk is changing lives. Well, don't go anywhere.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.
Oh, we can't put up a screen on this one. It's showing what action.
Yeah, but it won't show there.
Oh,
Because I have my,
okay.
it won't show right there. Because I have this up. Thank you.
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Let's see where we go. So this one, the microphone can't be heard through the speaker. It's not gonna broadcast, so it's not gonna help.
Right. That's okay. I'm just going to use the speakers here, right? Why? It should work.
Hopefully you got everything turned up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
It's not gonna work right here.
All right, you guys. Thanks for being patient. Let me bring up Rizal. Hold on. All right, we just moved to a different studio again because we had another show coming behind me and I didn't want to take up their time. So, where were we, Rizal? Talking about healing while dating. Am I ready for love? Or am I still broken? And so many people get into a relationship right after they are finished with the relationship and don't allow any space in between that relationship, any time to reflect on what happened, why it happened. And I always say that you're the common denominator in every relationship that you're in. So if everybody's saying the same thing, then guess what? You need to take a step back and take self inventory to find out what it is that's happening, why these relationships are ending, and what you could do better to move forward.
Right. I think we was on number, was it 7?
So, okay. So let me get back to it. So then number 8. Did we finish number 7?
What was number 7?
The difference between healing with someone or making them your healer.
We did finish that, yeah. So number 8.
So number 8 is the healthy love mirrors wounds, but they don't fix them.
Healthy love mirror wounds, but it doesn't fix them.
So I could see that you're in pain, that you're going through something, that you have trauma, and all I'm doing is mirroring what you put out, what you're doing, how you look. But then I'm not trying to help you. I don't have the capacity to help you, or maybe I don't want to help you. I may be just nursing those wounds that you have, but not putting a band-aid on it, but not really helping them heal.
Right. Because it's definitely all about energy. It's all about what you're getting and what you're putting out and what you're receiving. If I'm trying to pour in good energy into you, maybe you're going to jump up and snap back and recover real fast from that, because the good vibes that you're getting and that you're feeling is really touching my soul, and I'm listening to what you have to say, and I'm loving it, I'm liking it, like and then I want more and more and more, and boom, that's it, gotcha.
Wow. So number 9 would be honest about where you are emotionally. I think we already did that one. I just skipped over. Number 10 is set clear boundaries with that person.
What are you really going to say? No sex right away. What are you really going to say to the person?
I think when you're setting clear boundaries, it would be, I guess, if you're talking about what it is that you want from the relationship, what it is that you expect. Even if it's like, don't call me after 10 o'clock at night because I've got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work, so I can't be on the phone that late, or we can't stay out late for dates, like certain stuff like that, or this is my time that I spend with kids. Like, it could be boundaries surrounding that, and you expect people to follow them and not be disrespectful to your boundaries.
Yeah, I think every woman's well, not a boundary, but they want to be clear that they want that to be their last relationship. They hate moving and jumping around. And I think, yeah, for me and my wife, I was her first everything. I was her first love, her first partner, her first husband, and that's how it ended. I was her first everything. So,
I think I think when we do it, when we don't do it the way that the Bible said we should do it, then that's when we compare people to, oh, this person is not doing it this way because I was with 3 other people, and guess what? This is the way they did it. And so you start comparing people, you start being unhappy, and this goes with number 11. You start having these triggers about what happened in those relationships, and now the relationship you're in is affected. And I don't know if I believe with communicating your triggers to people to maybe.
oh, I'm just going to tell you what sets me off. But that just goes back to tell you about the women who tell the story. So when the man do something to hurt them, they going to say, what I've been through. Why did you hurt me like that? So yes, they do communicate them triggers.
I don't believe in communicating triggers. Like, I don't think I would. I don't think I would say what my triggers are, because I would not, again, I wouldn't want them to use it against me. I wouldn't want them to pull it out when we get into an argument, because when you arguing, you can say things that you can't take back. So I don't think I would mention anything about my triggers. So just so they can't be used against me, I wouldn't say anything.
But eventually, if you're with a person long enough, you're going to learn what triggers that person, what set things off. So, you're going to know eventually.
True. So what does healing actually look like after a breakup, a divorce, or even trauma? Because a lot of times the trauma that you experience even as a child can cause issues in relationships because you haven't dealt with those trauma issues. I would say that the worst healing part for me was my divorce, because for me it felt like a death. It felt like somebody died. I was grieving, but that person was still alive, and I could see that person, but I was still grieving that relationship. as though it was a death. So I went through all of the different stages that you would go through when it comes to grief. And for me, I would say that's how it looked to me. That's how I was able to heal, is because I had to go through the different stages of grief with my divorce.
Hmm. I think for me, knowing that I did everything that I could, I exalted every last straw. I used every outlet that I could, and some things are just not meant to work out. Then I feel good about, leaving because I did everything that I could do, to try to maintain it. But it don't work. It don't work. There's always a reason.
So, how can you recognize when someone is still emotionally wounded?
That's a good question because they're going to keep telling you, no, I'm good, I'm all right, everything is okay. So you're really not going to recognize the signs until you really be with that person long term. You're not going to know. And that becomes deceiving because now you're lying to me, knowing that something, is wrong or something is going on with you. And I don't know about it. So you're going to use that later in the argument or whatever against me and with me. So yeah, you really don't know how or if the person is still wounded or not. All you could do is just try to bring laughter, bring good times, positive vibes.
Wow. I would say, especially if they're not like opening up to you, being open with you, and the relationship seems to be kind of stifled because that person is just not open there because they're afraid they're going to get hurt. They're afraid that maybe, again, some of the behaviors that you're displaying is what the person did to them before that caused them to be hurt, just not being. And you can kind of tell when people are just not healed. And again, the relationship is not growing. It can't grow because that person doesn't have the capacity at that moment to allow it to happen.
And I went through that. So this one lady, I mean, I was very interested in her, and her ex-boyfriend had did something to her where she was trying to heal, but we was dating occasionally. But at the same time, I was trying to do any, I was trying to do anything to show her that I was her everything. And I actually messed it up because she wasn't healed yet. She wasn't ready. And I was more so trying to force myself, on her. And I would do things. And I think one day at her job, I let her have it because I was sitting there waiting for her, and she kind of, yeah, it was Mother's Day. I had brought her all this stuff for Mother's Day, and she was supposed to come over and she didn't come over. And I'm like, I'll let her have it. Like, I do all of this and that. And, you stood me up, blah, blah, blah. And yeah. And I think after that, that's when it kind of went downhill. And I enjoyed her company. And she would come out and see me. And yeah, she was the one that got away. But like I said, obviously, it was meant to be, it would be.
Wow. Diane said we had that conversation the last time I was with you. You have to want to heal and be mature enough. Some people are not mature enough to for the healing. Some people don't want to heal. Some people just is okay being in that state, blaming others, and just not really. They probably function in it so long that it feels normal. It feels like this is normal, and anything outside of that, they feel like that's outside of their comfort zone. They're gonna resist it. They're gonna fight it.
That's right. Because if I'm interested, I'm going to try to show you that I'm there and that you can get over this. And I want you to get over it fastly because I need you to be into me. And that right there becomes trouble also. Because now you believe in yourself, like, oh, he's going to take care of me. He's going to do this and that. And just knowing he's just trying to get a one quitter hitter.
Wow. All right, where are we? I wanted to go through some of the different myths as it relates to healing while dating. Well, let me do this question first. How long does it take someone to heal before they get into a different relationship? So before
That's
you start,
totally up to the person.
and we just heard the video where the guy said what? He said it shouldn't take you more than like 3 months to, you should be over this, you should be ready to move on. You shouldn't, I heard somebody say as long as you were in a relationship, it should take you that long to get over that person. I'm like,
Oh,
no,
hell,
never been in a relationship.
hell to the no, no, no. Mm-mm.
Exactly. I was like, oh no, I can't do that. I cannot do that one. So I want to listen to this next video and then we can comment on it.
Is during the healing phase when they have just gotten over a breakup. And I'll tell you this too, it is also the easiest time to get in a relationship with somebody when they're going through that phase, because when someone goes through a breakup, a traumatic situation that caused them to separate from somebody that they love, they're in a stage where they need to fill a void. They want attention, they want the validation, they want to move on and jump back into a relationship. And it is very, very bad for them to do that. They need to heal by themselves, because if you jump in a relationship with someone that just got out of a relationship, they're most likely still in love with that person. And even though they're getting over them, they're using you to fill that void. And there will be a situation when they completely heal over that person that they may not like you anymore, and they may have loved you because you were there for them at a time that they emotionally needed you. On the flip side, even worse, they may really find out that they still love that individual and get back with their ex. Tons of people get back with their ex, and you don't want to be on the other side of that.
Ooh-wee.
Nope, I don't get back with my ex. Trust and believe. If I did everything what I can do, ain't no reason to go back, because ain't nothing left in me to give.
You don't want to try again. I mean, especially if like you guys were
Try,
young, and it didn't work out, and you like,
try for what? I did everything that I could do. We did counseling. We did this. I have done everything that I could do, and it still did not work. Why am I going to go back to what I'm just coming from to try and force a situation to be back in the situation?
so you're the
Mm,
type of person that exhausts every measure before you walk away.
right.
That's a
Because
lot.
this way, ain't no reason for me going back.
Be like, I'm done with that. I can say that I had a relationship, at least two people where I walked away and I knew that I was not going back. Like I didn't even try to exhaust all of the measures with them because I just knew that this would not be a place that I would revisit. Like I don't even care if they were a billionaire, like I would not want to even be like in their presence. So,
Oh my.
yes, yes. There are some people like that. So
There are.
let's there are. So let's get into some of these facts and myths about healing before entering a relationship. Healing improves self-awareness.
Okay.
Good. Is that a
I could go
fact
for that.
or a myth? I could see it being a fact because you should, at some point, like I said, you're the common denominator in every relationship that you have. So at some point, you should be aware of how you act in a relationship, what you bring to a relationship, and you should be wanting to improve on yourself once you leave that relationship and say, oh, this person told me this. If they give you closure, because we know a lot of times you may not get closure in a relationship. If you're able to get it, then you can say, maybe these are the things that I need to improve upon moving
Mm.
forward in a relationship. Because a lot of times you don't get closure. When they say the relationship is over, that is closure. Just take that as closure.
That's it. It might have just went right over your head, but that's it. Take
Take
it or
it as,
leave it.
yeah. Still take time to heal and allow yourself to understand the emotional patterns that happen in that relationship, your triggers. You don't have to share that with them, so that you can it can help you become a better partner. Because sometimes we can move on, but we can be bitter moving on, and you don't want that.
That's right. The idea is for you to be better.
Better, not bitter. All right. So the second one is when it comes to facts and myth about dating is you can still love while healing. And I think we heard that already. So this would be a fact. So you don't have to be fully healed to love someone, but you should still be actively working on yourself as you're moving forward in that relationship.
I agree.
So healing is again, it's a journey. It's not a destination. So once you get to that destination, then what do? Okay, now it's been 10 years. I feel like I'm healed. I had all this therapy and I'm ready to go. And then all of your options gone out in relationships. Number
Everybody gone.
yeah, they moved on. Number 3, you must be completely healed before actually loving again, before you could love someone.
No, wasn't that like number 2? I don't think you need to be completely healed before loving again. No,
It's a myth, right? It's a myth.
that's a myth.
Healing, right? Healing is ongoing. It says expecting perfection delays connection. So
That's true.
growth can happen within a healthy relationship. If especially if people are doing what they're supposed to do in a relationship, they're not triggering you, or they're just honest and they're present and they want to be there, they want to be in a relationship, so they're doing all the things that they're supposed to do, and those things can help heal you. It can help take away that insecurity that you have with the other person, made you feel like you was insecure, tore down your self-esteem. You may meet somebody that may be the total opposite, and you know, build you up and help you heal, not even really knowing that they're helping you heal. So, number 4, when it comes to facts and myth about being in a relationship or healing while you're in a relationship, is time alone automatically means that you're healed. When you take
Mm,
that time for yourself,
definite myth.
it is a myth. It said time helps, but healing requires active effort like self reflection, forgiveness, and then some people,
Hmm.
professional help. You may need to go see a therapist or a counselor, not somebody who's going to hypnotize you. A new relationship will heal old wounds. So if you get into this relationship, it will heal old wounds.
I believe that. I
It
think
says
that's true.
it
That's a
says
fact.
it's a myth. It says while love can be supportive, relying on someone to fix you places unfair pressure on the relationship and usually leads to disappointment.
I disagree with them.
All right, Rizal disagree. All right,
Mm.
number 6. Unhealed wounds can sabotage healthy connections. I say yes. We mentioned that past trauma or heartbreak that's unresolved, it could resurface. I mentioned insecurity, your self-esteem, jealousy, fear, mistrust. You could bring all that into your next relationship and sabotage it. And this
Yep.
person is not even any of those things. But because you have this unhealed trauma, and then you bringing it into your next relationship.
I agree with that one.
Number 7. Are we on 7? Is healing helps you choose better. If you are healed, it's going to help you choose a better mate.
Well, it's going to show you everything what you don't want.
I would say yes, because when you're whole within yourself, then you're less likely to repeat or pick people who are toxic. You're I think you cut off stuff quicker. When they do start doing stuff, you're like, no, gotta go. Like that's toxic for me. Like, no, you're not quite, and you could tell when people are not quite healed, and sometimes you may not have the patience or the tolerance to like wait for them to get there. It's like, no, you have to have your own time to heal. But I feel like you do choose better when you are healed, because hopefully you are what you attract, so you're going to attract somebody who's also healed.
Hopefully, that's the idea.
What? Am I talking over you? Because I can't hear you.
I said that's the idea. Can you hear me?
I don't know what happened to your sound, but I still can't hear you.
Oh no. Is that the time? Like, is it going to cut off or anything?
No, you're talking, but something happened with something happened with your sound, and I have no idea what it is. But I see you moving, but I don't know what it is. Um, I'm not sure. I haven't touched anything, so I'm not sure what it is. Really? Did somebody call you and it interrupted the broadcast? I have no idea. You guys, let me know if you can still hear me talking. Maybe it's
I can
something
hear
with
you.
the broadcast itself. Let me know if you can hear us all. Put something in the comments to let me know if you can still hear us. Number 8 means healing means forgetting the past. I would say myth, definitely not. You should not forget the past. You should use it as a guide, not as a weapon. Healing does not erase memories, but it actually releases the pain that you have experienced that you should be able to learn something from that experience.
Right. Am I
I'm
back
trying
yet?
to see if they're putting something in the comments. Somebody put
Somebody
something in the
said, yeah.
comments. Hold on, Rizal. I want to see if they can hear me. Oh, Diane says she could hear me. Are you able to hear Rizal or just me? Because I'm not sure what happened to his audio at the moment. And so one question that I had for the listeners is, can two broken people build something that's whole? Both of y'all are broken. Y'all got out of relationships. Y'all met each other and y'all decide we're going to be together. Yeah, we're broken, but guess what? We're going to be together and we're going to help heal each other. Rizal said yes. So two broken people can heal each other. I feel like if you both are honest with what happened, she said I could hear both of you. So, oh, Rizal, she said she could hear you.
Okay. So you just can't hear me.
I'm not sure why I can't, but Diane said she could hear you. So Rizal said he agreed that two broken people can build something together. I think at this point, those two people probably are very vulnerable, maybe open with each other, and they're making maybe promises to each other like we're not going to do this to each other. We're going to make sure we check each other when this may be going on so that they won't have those issues and have a successful, nurturing relationship. I
Well,
believe that it could happen.
one thing they
Not sure,
definitely can
Rizal, what
relate to each
happened to
other.
you. We just remember that healing is not perfect. It's about being honest. It's about, you still may have to carry these wounds because they're not fully healed yet, but it starts with you. It starts with loving yourself all over again after that relationship, making sure that you're spending time with God and allowing him to heal you as well. Don't date from an empty place, because a lot of times we may date from an empty place, but if you're working on your healing, then stay full, stay whole, and don't settle for someone who may be confusing you, or sometimes you get into a relationship and it's just it's confusion. You like, what's happening, where are we, what's going on, and you just confused, you're stressed out about the situation. Like, no, don't settle for people who confuse your potential, what you've been through, with what it could be, right? Because you can move on to another person and have a beautiful relationship. Just because one person, what is it, one person's trash is another person's
Treasure.
treasure. Yes, I totally believe that. All right, Rizal, it's not the same when I can't hear you. Not, I don't know what. I'm not sure what happened. But I'm glad that you guys stuck with us for the rest of the show. Healing while dating. Am I ready for love or am I still broken? You guys can join us every first Monday is Relationship Monday with Rizal and I on Intellectual Radio. You guys, we bring you the real, the raw, and relational conversations. If it's something that you want us to talk about, just inbox us and let us know so that we can bring it to the platform and we can talk about it. You guys, thank you for tuning in again to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell. Co-hosting is Rizal Gilmore, aka The Biz. Remember, Warriors Talk is changing lives one warrior at a time. I just ended. Let me see. I couldn't. Rizal, I don't know. I still can't hear you. Oh, where'd he go? I don't know what happened. I couldn't hear Rizal all of a sudden.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I don't know
You
what
still can't hear
happened.
me?
I'm sorry. I don't even know. But she
You're
said,
still
Diane
on
said
live.
she could hear both of us.
If
So I'm not even sure. Okay. All right, then. I'm going to end it because I can't hear nothing you saying. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh, one more.